Welcome to the Grizzled Geek and Review for February 23rd, 2018. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here once again for your weekly wrap-up of nerd news. The Week in Geek. We have Black Panther. Makes all the money.
Money.
It makes all the monies. Yeah. And it is making... We say that a lot about these big opening movies.
Yeah.
But this movie is breaking records money-wise left and right. I mean, it's just tearing it up.
This is Star Wars level.
It is Star Wars. Yeah. I mean, it's the second best 4 days in movies of all time. Right? Money-wise. Mm-hmm. It ended up with, over the holiday, 4-day holiday, $242 million, right? Over an initial estimate of around $80 million.
Yes, way back when. Tracking for 70 to 80 million.
Yeah.
Now it's...
Which was respectable for a solo Marvel movie first time out.
Yeah.
$242 million is crazy. And even crazier on top of that is 263.2 is their 5-day number.
Right.
The reason why that's significant is because it is the best Monday ever.
Right.
I mean, there's so many ways to slice up all the records are breaking.
Yeah.
It's the best pre-summer Tuesday ever.
Yes.
You know,
that's day number 5.
Yeah, day number 5.
The 1 through 4, the 4-day opening was Friday through
Monday,
holiday Monday.
And Monday was the best Monday ever, and it being the best pre-summer Tuesday ever. Mm-hmm. It is just breaking all kinds of records. And analysts believe that it can possibly, if this keeps tracking like this, beat Avengers as the all-time domestic superhero movie.
Wow.
You know, which is odd. I mean, neither one of us placed it above Avengers in our list.
No, not in our not in my favorite movies, but like I've said, it appeals to such a wide audience that you're getting more than just comic book fans here, more than just summer blockbuster fans. You know, this is an event, this is a movement. People are like, wow, this is Wonder Woman for this year.
That are not necessarily superhero fans.
Correct, yeah.
All right.
This is like Wonder Woman. This is, for African Americans, for people who are into social commentary, things like that. Yeah. This is a big deal for them, just like Wonder Woman was for, females last year. The female empowerment. This is, look at what this does for this group of people.
Right.
So it's got this much wider audience than your typical superhero movie is going to have.
Despite there being better superhero movies than Wonder Woman, it was just culturally significant.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
All right. It's also, not only is it making all the money, breaking all the records, but it's also now the highest rated superhero movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
It's sitting at the 97%, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. But Rotten Tomatoes does an adjusted score based on the number of critics and the number of reviews it gets, and gives it spits out a score. It has a 117.552%, however they figure that out.
Yeah.
Beating the previous highest one, which was Wonder Woman, at 108.588%.
All right.
So it is now the highest rated according to the Rotten Tomatoes.
Only got an A+ on CineScore.
Yeah, I mean, it's not only is it, I mean, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Everybody loves it. Yeah. It's making tons of money.
And in... former Flashpoint director Rick Famuyiwa throws shade on Twitter by pointing out an amusing fact that it only took Black Panther 4 days to make more money than Justice League did its entire run. Let's put that in perspective there for you. A movie with the top 3 superheroes in the world.
Right.
The most popular
the most
superheroes,
recognizable
superheroes in the world. This movie, Black Panther, who is not even a D-list character normally in Marvel Comics, did more money than them in 4 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, that's criminal Justice League. The Justice League is criminally low there. Let me be clear there that it doesn't deserve how little money it made, but that is a pretty impressive fact.
It is impressive. And I love how the fact that the former Flashpoint
Warner Brothers are going to fire me?
Yeah.
Take this.
Yeah, guess what? He just, by the way, did you know?
Oh, and in DC Warner Brothers news, I was trying to think of a clever thing there about how messed up they are there. First off, there's some more shakeups going on with new VP of DC Films, Chantal Nong. The first of that is they've announced that they're going to Batgirl and Flashpoint are going to be their first 2 movies, I guess.
Yes.
Under this new direction. Joss Whedon will not be directing Batgirl.
Yeah, that just broke yesterday that he stepped down from that role, saying that he is not the person to do this. At one point, he was like a feminist, empowered person, with strong female characters. Thought he was the best, but now, in today's, with his wife coming out with his allegations, he kind of going to distance himself a little bit.
Yeah.
And now it looks like she wants a female director.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. All right. We also got a Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie set to start filming May 1st. That's going to be awesome.
More awesome than Venom? Which one are you most looking forward to?
I'm probably more psyched about a Joker movie than a Venom movie. And still no official word on Man of Steel 2, Batman, or Nightwing.
All right. How do you feel about, as a DC fan, that the core 3, outside of Wonder Woman, core characters are not getting the love that they... Why we have a Batgirl movie instead of before a Batman movie?
Because they're trying to... Because Warner Brothers is too focused on chasing Marvel at this point. And they're like, look at what Marvel's doing with all their B characters. Let's find that next B character that everybody's going to fall in love with and is going to launch an event.
Yeah.
And they're working backwards. Just pick some core stuff, stick to it, sign actors to long-term agreements, and come up with a plan.
It just seems like weird in the Bat family that they're going to have... there's Batman and Robin, right? Mm-hmm. And Batman, apparently there's a movie out there somewhere, but it's not been officially announced.
Right.
Nightwing, we got news that's not happening now, but instead they're going Batgirl instead. And the fact that there's not a Man of Steel 2 is, in my opinion, just crazy.
Yeah.
Are they scared of Superman? It's like Warner Brothers is afraid
I don't know, because
Superman.
he was... they turned it around in Justice League with Superman. Personally, I thought they overdid it a little bit, but still, he was way better than he was. Way more optimistic and upbeat and positive. Yeah, he was Superman. He became Superman. Silver Age Superman is basically what we had there.
Yes.
And then it's like, we figured. I don't know. It's like you're not capitalizing on what was great there. Anyways, so Warner Brothers is still dysfunctional. That was the word I was looking for.
Dysfunctional.
Earlier.
There you go.
Dysfunctional.
All right. Nice segue after the story.
Yeah.
All right. Allspark Pictures is the film company that Hasbro's put together. That hails all the Hasbro properties: Transformers, G.I. Joe, Micronauts. They announced.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about it is they just came out and recently announced that after this Bumblebee movie that's coming out, which seemed to be a step in the right direction, that entire universe is getting scrapped and rebooted. So they're redoing Transformers. They say it's going to be more true to the toys, to the cartoon. Right?
Good. Yeah.
Which means it's weird that they announced that now, knowing that we have another movie in a dead universe, that hasn't come out yet.
Well, we've gotten lots of previews on it, and I don't notice those have stopped.
That's true.
We had a lot of previews from a ways back. I don't know, months ago they were coming out. Yeah. We haven't had a new one or any real word about the movie for months.
That's true.
And I don't know of anybody who was super excited about it.
Yeah, it's true.
So, I don't know.
Well, seems a little odd, though, that if you're going to go back, another point here, if you're going to name your studio after a part in a franchise that you're going back to the core roots of, that you're going to name it after a change that they made.
Yes, true.
Instead of the Matrix of Leadership, they changed it to the Allspark in the movie. Yeah. And you're going to name your company off of what they changed it to.
Yeah, that's true.
Of the universe they're getting rid of.
Yes.
But, I guess they're going to change that now. It's like Infinity Stones instead of Infinity Gems.
Yes. Gotta
rename the stuff. But a movie that they're also doing is Dungeons and Dragons movie. Now, Dungeons and Dragons movie has been on the slate for a while now, but their recent resurgence in popularity of the game has got people interested, rekindled this. Now, sadly, I remember the original Dungeons and Dragons movie, which was god-awful. It was horrible. It was not... oh, my God. They defeated a beholder by throwing a rock somewhere. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
But now it's actually moving forward. They have a director now, Chris McKay, who directed Lego Batman movie, right?
Okay.
And the interesting thing about that is he was set to direct Nightwing. Now, I don't know what the shakeup is at DC, but he stepped down from Nightwing to do this. He went from Nightwing to doing this, maybe because they put Nightwing on the back burner.
Possibly.
Because he was big into doing this. He was talking about how they're going to have, the mask was going to look and everything. He was saying all the stuff that got people excited about Nightwing.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden he's like, I'm going D&D. Oddly enough, he also turned down a Magic the Gathering movie for this. So he's turned down Nightwing and Magic the Gathering to go do a D&D movie. So the guy's talented and he wants to do one this bad.
Yeah.
Maybe there's hope. Now, Doug, do you want a straight-up fantasy movie a la Lord of the Rings? Or do you want a Dungeons and Dragons players getting sucked into the D&D world kind of movie,
no,
like the cartoon?
I want a fantasy movie.
You want a full fantasy movie?
Yeah.
Do you want it based on a property like Dragonlance or Forgotten Realms? Or
I doubt that's likely. Dragonlance is unlikely. Forgotten Realms or something like that would be interesting. I think it would probably be better just to go generic. Don't specify what land it's in. It doesn't need to be. I don't know. There's a lot of opportunity. I wouldn't mind seeing a movie that was based in what is the original land?
Greyhawk.
Greyhawk, yeah, with all of the people that the spells are named after, actually showing them becoming a thing. That would be cool. I doubt that's the kind of thing that's going to happen.
That'd be crazy.
But
Greyhawk's
that would be
high
awesome.
magic.
Yeah. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
We're talking like Harry Potter level magic running around.
Yes.
That would be cool. I mean, I was so excited for
They
D&D
can do
movie.
the effects. They can do the effects, so why not?
It sounds like, if it's going to happen, if it's going to be good, it sounds like Chris McKay is the guy to do it. So I'm glad he's excited.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. All right, let's move on to James Bond, where there's apparently competing scripts for the next James Bond movie. Earlier this week, there was a report that Danny Boyle is the front runner for Bond 25. However, it theoretically is going to take him months, along with his train-spotting partner, John Hodge, to finish the script.
Yeah.
There is a finished script right now by Casino Royale, Skyfall, and Spectre writers Neil Purvis and Robert Wade, with Denis Villeneuve wanting to direct that. So, why is this a competition? Why not go, all right, you're Bond 26. Let's get Bond 25 in the can right now.
Probably because he has... I think the big thing is Danny Boyle wants the current James Bond.
Oh, he won. Okay.
All right, because he did a short with him for the Olympics. They had James Bond talking to the Queen or whatever.
Oh, right.
And he directed that, and he has a relationship. What's the actor's name? James Bond? Can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
All right. So him.
Brain
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
So Daniel Craig, he has a relationship with him. He wants to do this. Daniel Craig's only got one more Bond movie to do, right?
Right. Okay.
So here's where the dilemma comes in, because part of Danny Boyle's wanting to do this is wanting to work with Daniel Craig to do this.
Got
right?
it. Okay.
They have the relationship. Now, when I hear Danny Boyle is an amazing director, right? And when I hear that his Trainspotting co-writer is coming in to co-write the script with him, that sounds amazing. But Denis Villeneuve directed James Bond sounds amazing as well.
Yeah.
However, Casino Royale was great, Skyfall was okay, and Spectre sucked. So I'm if you're going down this downward trend with these writers and the story-wise,
yeah.
Now I don't know whether I don't know which one I would want them to do personally, but
yeah, that was fun. Skyfall was so good in the beginning and it ended so well, but the middle was just
kind of like yeah, exactly. You're like but apparently Danny Boyle met with the Broccoli family. They liked his pitch, which is apparently going to be an all new, different direction for James Bond, too. I really hope it would work out. You have James Bond 25 and then 26
is a new, a new Bond. With,
yeah,
I mean, because Denis Villeneuve would bring a different vision for a James Bond movie, so that would be interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
So,
wow,
who knows?
Anyway, man, like some movies have a hard time getting a director and a script in, and he's just like
now competing ones.
Competing if you're going to compete Danny Boyle or Denis Villeneuve, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
that's a good problem to have.
True enough.
So either way they go with it, we're going to get a great James Bond movie, I think. All right, moving on to our short stories, our nerd nuggets, our geek bites. Gonna brand these. I'm telling you. First one is Disney came out talking about rebooting a bunch of their properties. I don't know whether it's for their streaming service or whatnot, but one of the big ones, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, out of this list is the one that looks like it's the most likely. Now they also mentioned like Father of the Bride and Parent Trap. Parent Trap's actually been done a couple times.
Yeah, it's.
I mean, I don't know. It seems to me like,
and it was a good movie the first time.
Wasn't Disney known as the House of Ideas? Wasn't that at one point? Is that what their logo, their slogan was at one point? And now their idea is old ideas. We'll just come back and redo these.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a kid, you grew up in the '90s. These are movies that you're familiar with. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They had 3 movies and a TV series.
Yeah, something like that.
They even had a ride. Didn't they have like a thing at Disneyland?
Yeah, it took the place of Captain EO in Disneyland. So it was like a stage show, not a stage show. It was a
walkthrough.
Well, it was like an amphitheater, kind of like a 3D show.
Got it. So yeah, I mean, I really like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids personally. I think
it was all right.
Replacing Rick Moranis is gonna be rough for me. I'm like, but I mean, it just seems like it's Disney's direction they're going. They're going to pull out stuff out of the closet to redo.
Yeah. Well, if they're coming out with a streaming service, they need stuff. They need something good to do. All right. J.J. Abrams says Episode 9 script is done and shooting to begin in July. So that's quick. That's soon. Says it's good to be starting with a completed script, which he often does not do.
I think that shows everything wrong with what's going on with Star Wars in a nutshell right there. The fact they're like, all right, we have kind of an outline of a story, go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see what he's got a lot of. Yeah. He's got a lot of goodwill he needs to bring back. Because the last movie was quite divisive.
It was quite divisive.
And there's a lot to fix, in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, one of the rumors was Colin Trevorrow who came in who had a script, right? He was one original director for Episode 9.
Oh, right.
And then he said, "Yeah, this is perfect. I want to do this story. Can you just change a couple things with The Last Jedi?" And then he got shown the door. So, nice. Which is odd because J.J. Abrams changed something in The Force Awakens to make for Last Jedi or whatever.
Oh, really?
So
okay,
for that story. All right, Ryan Reynolds and Fox are attempting to beat the clock on the Disney deal by pushing through XForce before the deal goes through. So in order to get it done and filmed in time, they're starting production in October, so it'll be finished before the deal goes through.
Okay.
So I don't know. I mean, I want to see a Ryan Reynolds X-Force movie. I think it'd be great. I don't want it to be rushed though. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean
they got enough time right now.
Yeah, that's a decent amount of time. Yeah. I don't think it's like horribly rushed. Right. But yeah, anyways. So that would be cool. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. All right. Jurassic World 3 is announced for June 11th, 2021 with Colin Trevorrow writing. Before
the second one's
even out. The second one that is, I don't know, uninspiring from what I've seen previews wise. I loved the first one, quite possibly because I'm a fan of the actors in it,
right?
Not necessarily the world.
The nostalgia for Jurassic Park have anything to do with it? Or?
No, because I stopped watching Jurassic Park movies after the second one.
Oh, yeah.
So at that point, I was like, man, whatever. That was 20, whatever, how many years, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
like, eh. But
yeah, it seems odd they're announcing it now.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that is weird.
But they didn't say it was going to be a trilogy. They wanted a trilogy out of it.
Yeah.
I guess
okay.
Now they're like, go see it because there's going to be another one afterwards.
There you go.
All right. Fan dreams have come true as Jessica Chastain is officially in talks to take over the role of adult Beverly in It sequel.
Nice.
Now, the It sequel is going to focus on the adults. And everyone was like, fan casting this. So like Jessica Chastain would be perfect as Bev.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she has a relationship with, the director. They worked with Mama together, that horror movie. So yeah, I think it's, that's great if it happens. I mean, it's a great, really big star and talented actors to build that, cast around.
Right.
So now the casting, they can bring in bigger stars for some of the other roles. And the thing is, it's weird because they got a kind of uphill battle with It too. The kids were so great; and they were a major part of why It was such a good movie.
Oh right, yeah.
That the second half is not as strong a story with the adults. And you don't have the empathy for the adults you do, even though they go through some horrible stuff as well. Yeah. And what they're saying is they're going to have the kids in this, but I'm really not hoping it's not just like half and half. Hope they're in their flashbacks or whatever when as they're telling the story. The way the book is written, if you haven't read the book actually skips back and forth. They tell the story parallel, So
okay.
The one chapter be with the adults, and then one chapter a flashback with the kids, right? So they're both stories when they confront the monster happen at the same time, even though one happened in the past, one happened
right. Yeah. Okay.
So the way the book's written is really good. So
nice. All right. And yet, how much more can Marvel screw up comics? Marvel is like can't do wrong with the movies and can't do right with the comics. They are renumbering their titles once again this May, launching new number ones after Legacy went back and went to the old numbering system last fall.
Right.
So they brought back Legacy. So a long time ago, they relaunched all the titles. Well, not a long time, a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Relaunched all the titles with number ones. Went a couple of years, people didn't like that. So they do this Legacy thing where they bring all the old numbering back, and then less than a year later, they're going back to number ones.
So within a year's time, your comics, if you're collecting, will go from numbering in the 30s up into like this 695, back to number one. Which is, I mean,
stop doing gimmicks and start writing good stories.
This is one of the things the strengths Marvel had over DC back in the day is that they were consistent, right? They had a continuous continuity, right? That they, that was, the only hiccup was in the 90s when they did Heroes Reborn without the Image guys take control of the characters. Mm-hmm. So they had so your issues stopped. They went 1 to 12. They had 12 issues,
right?
And then they went back to the regular numbering, right? And then all new Marvels when they relaunched all the titles?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. So, they got up to like 30 issues in the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
And then they jumped them back to the original. Now they're going back to number ones. I don't know, man. This is going to confuse. They've already pissed everybody off every time they do this.
Yeah.
Although they got a new creative team there. Obviously, what they were doing at Marvel didn't work. They got a new editor-in-chief, new creative teams on all these books. So we'll see. Hopefully they can turn it around. And one thing I did notice is that they're trying to make it look more like the movies, I guess. As we noticed, we're getting Thor back. He actually have a hammer. So the Avengers has like Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor, in the Avengers.
Okay.
So people you recognize again. So.
Man.
All right. But speaking of comics, we have the guys over at Samurai Comics have their comic picks for the week. Let's see what they have to suggest. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek. I'm Mike, and we're once again at Samurai Comics in Phoenix, Arizona for the staff weekly picks of which comics you should be picking up this week.
My name is Jeff, and this week's pick for me is Deathbed by Joshua Williamson and Riley Rossmo. It's about a adventurer who was kind of a balls-to-the-wall, bloody knuckles type of guy who fought demons and such, and he is dying, and so he taps this girl to write his deathbed memoirs, and things spiral quickly out of control from there because he is insane. But this is an awesome book. It looks awesome. It reads awesome. It's a very good first issue. If you like quirky offbeat stuff, it's great. It's by Vertigo, and you should pick it up.
Well, you have it, folks. Weekly picks from the guys over at Samurai Comics. That's it for the news this week, guys. I mean, lots of, movie news. Yeah. Mostly movie news.
Some good, some bad.
Some good, some bad. Some kind of like head scratching. Yeah. Like, what is going on here? But thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week with some more nerd news. If you liked what you saw, you want to see some more, like, subscribe. Share
with some friends so we can get to our 5,000 subscriber mark for 2018.
Yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can do so in a number of ways. You can buy cool T-shirts and merch through our Teespring store down below.
Right.
You can shop Amazon through our Amazon affiliate link down below. Or you can support us directly through our Patreon account down below, where you get access to early shows and cool stuff. So, whatever you do, we really appreciate it. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.